Hey, people. Yes, I get a little, uh, I don't know what the right word is. I laugh at myself, okay? Sometimes I just deserve laughing at. But that's okie dokie, especially coming from me. I understand my laughter. Sometimes my laughter is way late. People wonder what the heck. Yeah, this is Lou. 12:09. It's Monday, and it's in the afternoon. I've had intentions of reading Matthew 17 all day long, but I found other things to read. And so I haven't gotten to Matthew 17. Pathway to Hell is paved with good intentions. We didn't go to hell though, people. I just went to some other thoughts, subjects than what I was going to do. I talked about time in one of those videos this morning, and I couldn't say what I was supposed to say, the right dimension or whatever. There's a planet, a world, called Kolob, and it's God's first creation, God the Father and his wife, our mother. I just got a message, sorry. I leaned down to read it. I don't have my glasses on. I do have some glasses cleaner. I need to do that because I keep finding my glasses all dirty, which means I cannot see. Just as well not have them on. So anyway, I still am not going to do Matthew 17 because I found the answer to my query, is what they call it, a question. Um, and I still put these on before I was ready for them. My book called Mormon Doctrine is just wonderful as far as telling you where to go find the scripture that's talking about what you're saying. Because we can talk till we're blue in the face, but if we don't have something to back it up, sometimes, they're not going to understand that. But in Mormon doctrine, you go by subject, and it gives you scriptures all over the place to back up what you're saying. So that's what I'm going to read. I'm going to read about time. My last video, I was going to read about time, but then I saw thrones, and I thought, oh, well, I'll read that because that's interesting. Because, yes, we are going to be kings and queens, and we are going to reign over principalities, I think is how they said it. But you have to achieve that, where we're going when we leave here and stuff like that. One day we'll graduate to where we will be God. Us, our mate, and ourselves, will the two together become a God of their own worlds. That's what this whole trip is all about, people. And that's why it's so important. You don't just lay around and just let it go by you. And I am guilty. You just need to learn. You don't have to achieve the highest of everything here. Like here, like in the workplace and all that. The important things are to do with your family. I'm backing up on my bed because I'm falling off of it because it's mostly memory foam. So you sit in it and your butt goes down. And I slide off the bed. So anyway, we all get caught up in the world of, not all of us, because I didn't. I might should have oughta, because I could have done great things. I could have done great things with the skills that I had. But no, I was always choosing the underdog. I was always choosing. I really had the best of intentions. I wanted to be home with my daughter. I wanted to be a mommy like I had already always. That's just the family. You got the man and the woman. And under normal circumstances, the man goes out and makes the money, brings it home, provides for the family, loves his wife with all his might. Don't forget what's most important in life, people. It is your mate and your children. And maybe your mom and dad, because they brought you into this world. And sometimes we don't feel like they deserve any respect. And I'm not talking about my mom and dad. I'm talking about some of the people I've heard of out in the world. Oh my, you poor things. And I'm not saying life was perfect at my house, because it was not. I'm not talking about my mom and dad's house. I'm talking about what do they call that? I want to say dominion. My dominion. But there's another word. Your stewardship. You are responsible for your children, helping to bring them up in love and acceptance. I mean, we don't have control over a lot of things, especially when our children go off to school. And all those children in that school, which is just a little piece of the pie, all the children there come from all different kinds of backgrounds. A lot of times it's poverty-stricken people. And then you've got the lingo, you've got the language, you've got the environment of those people affecting them, which in turn they come to school and affect your children. You understand what I'm trying to say? There is a time where we lose control. We can only try. And that is one of the great things about the church, is because there's something for every age group. There is things going on that they can partake of, that they can learn from, that they can be happy about. Like helping other people. It gives them an outlet to get these things accomplished. And when I say that, I mean like the feelings you get from helping other people. If you don't actually do it, then how can you get those feelings? That's part of your growing experience. Love one another as I have loved you. That's what Jesus said to his apostles. And I'm telling you, that's what the 10 Commandments are now. There's 2. You don't have 10 Commandments. The first one, love God with all your mind, might, and strength. And the second is like unto it, love thy neighbor as thyself. So that's 3, I'm going to call them tiers, levels of love. You love God with all your mind, might, and strength. There's more words that go to it, but I don't know what they are. And then you're supposed to love your neighbor as yourself. So many people don't realize that part about loving thyself, that's a commandment too. You got to love yourself before you know how to love anybody else. I mean, I'm not sure if I can say that word, altruistic. I was told once that I was altruistic, and they were right. And that means a lot of times we put other people before ourselves. But we do need to take care of ourselves too, okay? Now, I got things to do here in a little bit, so I got to get busy. I want to read about time, because I mentioned it earlier. Time, our time here on earth is for earth. And then where God resides, there's a whole different time. So it makes it kind of strange when you're reading the scriptures, okay? I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like the millennium, is it going to be 1,000 years? And is that 1,000 years of our time? Or is that 1,000 years of God's time? Because that's only one day. And I think there's too much to get done. There's too much that we are going to need to get done. It's not going to end in just 1,000 years. I bet you it's going to be more than that. But that's an I bet you, because I don't know. And I could just read this one little But I don't want to. I'm going to read the whole thing. So that's what I'll call this video. Okay, we're going to read about time out of Mormon Doctrine. And like I said before, get your pen and paper. If you still have it, great. I'm not sure. I've lost track of time. Anyway, I will not be reading you the places. I will be reading what they've got written. And a lot of times that's what it is. It's a part of the scripture they're going to tell you to go to read it for yourself. Okay? So this is called Time. I should turn around and look at you guys. I will. Okay. I got this big old book. But it has enough that might take up a whole page. All right, time. And then it says see day. I didn't go look up day. Then it's got dispensation of the fullness of times. Then it's got eternity. And then it's got meridian of time and mortality, night, seasons. Okay, so number one, it says any measurable part of eternity is referred to as time. The periods of duration involved in the rotation and other movements of the various planets and heavenly bodies form the unit of measurement of time. Thus, a 24-hour period is a day of time on this earth, and 365 days are a year of time. In answer to the question, is not the reckoning of God's time, angels' time, prophets' time, and man's time according to the planet on which they reside? I answer yes. The prophet said, and this is in Doctrine and Covenants, so you want to write D and C, 130, put that colon, and then a 4 to 5, 4-5. Okay, so you're going to read verses 4 and 5. Time exists and is measured on all planets, and a knowledge of the times and laws governing the heavenly bodies is yet to come forth in this dispensation. If there be bounds set to the heavens, or to the seas, or to the dry land, or to the sun, moon, or stars, all the times of their revolutions, all the appointed days, months, and years, and all the days of their days, months, and years, and all their glories, laws, and set times shall be revealed in the days of the dispensation of the fullness of times. Now here's a verse to go look it up. Doctrine and Covenants, section, so you just put 121, then put that colon, and then put 30-31. So you're going to read 2 verses. Some of this revelation has already taken place. For instance, we know that on Kolob, where the Lord's time prevails, a day is 1,000 years of our time. Abraham, okay, here you go. Write this down. And they just wrote down A-B-R-A, but I know that's Abraham, okay? So Abraham, chapter 3, verse 4. And then it says 2. P-E-T. 2 Peter? Okay, there must be a 2 Peter. 2 Peter 3:8. So you're just going to read the verse 8. Thus it is that the time element in the creation of this earth was reckoned after the Lord's time, which was after the time of Kolob. For as yet the gods had not appointed unto Adam his reckoning. That's Abraham, A-B-R-A, 5:13. So you're going to read verse 13. And remember, Abraham is probably in the Pearl of Great Price, and you'll have to look that up on the device if you're not a member of the church and already have it. And so many people just rely on the scriptures online now. So Abraham is in the Pearl of Great Price, okay? So that was Abraham 5:13. Verse 2 says, as contrasted with eternity time, it is the period of mortal probation that begins for each person with birth into this world and ends with the natural and temporal death. All right, write this down. D&C, chapter 39, we're going to say, it's a section 39, verse 22. Section 72, verse 3. Section 132, verse 7. And then 18. So it's going to be section 132, verse 18. And then Romans, ROM, is what they've got, 8:18. Romans, I'm pretty sure, is in the New Testament, okay? So if you wrote that down, Romans 8:18. And then number 3, it says, time is also any season, age, or period when a particular event is destined to occur. The time shall come when the knowledge of a Savior shall spread throughout every nation, kindred, tongue, and people. That's in Mosiah. That's in the Book of Mormon. Okay, so we want Mosiah, Mosiah, chapter 3, verse 20. And I'm not real familiar with this one, but Ecclesiastes or something like that, that's in the Old Testament. ECCLES is what they've got, and that's an abbreviation. I know it is. They've got period next to it. And then it's chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. And then it says, this life is the time for men to prepare to meet God. And that's in Alma. Okay, Alma is in the Book of Mormon. Alma is ALMA, chapter 34, verse 32. So that's all I'm going to read out of that. That's the end of that. 17 minutes, that's not bad. I hope you guys understood that. You know, I get carried away, and then sometimes that's another problem is we know things, so we think everybody else does. And everybody else doesn't. You know, which was provided, that knowledge of that was provided to me by that young woman. That young woman that I had a conversation with. And a lot of times, I don't know, but it was like someone told me to go talk to her. They set up a way for us to talk, and then they told me to go back and talk to her. And we actually did hug before I left. So, that was wonderful. And she needed what I had to say. And she's going through things. And she had just moved up there to Kennewick area from California. She told me when she went back she was going to introduce me to those people, her friends. And I hope she did. That would be lovely. You know, when someone can tell somebody else about you instead of you telling them about you. It's pretty cool. Anyway, I got so much to do. So I think I'm going to stop right there. Because I told you guys, I mentioned time, and I couldn't figure it out in my head. Okay, how do you say that? And it's hard to wrap your head around. So, God's time. One day of God's time is worth 1,000 years of ours. Try to wrap that around your head. I can't. I can't even fathom it. That would make things make a little more sense, but talking about having a lot to do in a short period of time. You know, God said the earth was created in 7 days. So I always wondered, what was that? It must have been 7 days compared to his time, which would be 7,000 years of creation. Did I get that right? I think I did. One day to God is 1,000 of our years. So that would be 7 days to God and 7,000 years here. I think I got it right that time. Anyway, people, I'm glad to talk to you. I'm glad I have the ability to talk to you. And I'm talking to myself too, which is fine. I always have talked to myself, I think. I mean, I really don't remember a lot of talking when I was younger, but I mean, singing songs, making up words and singing songs, is that not talking to yourself, kind of, sort of, you know? Anyway, I've always, as far as I can remember, talked to myself. And I think that's just lovely. Because you don't always have someone who can understand you and what you mean when you're saying something. But when you're the one saying it, you know what you meant. You know what you meant to say, whether they knew it or not. And I do. I need to let go. I need to start walking again. I mean, Zumba is good, but I get tired so fast. And I think if I'm walking, I don't get tired as fast. But then again, I'm probably not putting as much effort into it because the Zumba, it's got a beat and it helps make you move. But my butt hurts. My legs hurt, so it means it's working. But it also means I'm out of shape. I need to do better. And so, I don't know. It might be that I need to walk and Zumba. Because I can at least walk 1 block, maybe 2, and that's getting something done. Plus, I'll be visiting with you guys too. So I got to get off here and get ready. Any of you people out there who've got cancer, and I would think it would be any cancer, okay? Don't forget about the ivermectin. I need to order some in. I put it in my cart. And then I need to get a spoon up here and start taking a 1/4 teaspoon in the morning and a 1/4 teaspoon at night. That will help neutralize your system. And my naturopath told me to do it, but she was talking about the fact that there was one study done where the doctor that was given, I don't know what you call it, but he was talking to a room full of doctors. He was talking to an auditorium full of doctors. And he was saying that this is a theory that cancer is a fungus. And they were able to target the cancer, and they treated it. I don't know how they treated it, but they treated it with baking soda. And it made the tumors go away. So it's just a little, I mean, they didn't spend a lot of money on that, and they didn't advertise it a lot because, hey, it's not going to bring money into the medical field. You can go to the store and get it pretty cheap. You can neutralize your system because, you know, cancer cannot grow in a alkaline system. And that's what baking soda will do for you. Neutralize your system. But also, maybe it'll melt that fungus away, if it so be that it is a fungus. She told me that I might not be able to handle a 1/2 teaspoon at a time, but that's what she wanted me to be able to do. But she told me to start with a 1/4 teaspoon first, because some people can't handle it, can't tolerate it. And I'm not sure if it causes diarrhea, causes you to throw up, or what. I know I used to take it to make me throw up. When I needed to throw up and I was sicker than a dog, I would take some baking soda, and pretty soon I was throwing up. But also, baking soda is supposed to be really good for, I need to learn more about that, to mix with castor oil. I'm not sure if that's for your face or for inside your body or what. So I'm going to have to look into that. There's many things out there, natural pathways, like my grandma. She probably had her book of remedies too, you know. So you guys take care. Love you very much. I'm going to try to just make this a little short one too. And I'm going to go out, maybe. I'm going to see what the temperature is, and maybe I'll go out and walk. I might not be able to today. I chose to talk to you guys instead of walk, okay? And I know I could put Zumba on, but I sure do get tired doing Zumba. But I need to control myself and just do it, right? It's just too easy to sit down when you're in the house and there's a chair in the room, right? When I'm out walking around the block, if I'm halfway around the block, I got to walk back. So, I mean, there's reasons. Anyway, you guys take care, and I'll talk to you later. Peace. Spread peace and love. Okay? Bye.